Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And we're back reviewing designer fragrances, specifically Valentino. And I remember wearing Valentino Uomo all the way back when I was younger. And fast forward today, we're at 2025, guys. We will be reviewing, or I will be reviewing the latest Valentino Uomo flanker from one of their more popular releases nowadays that came out back in 2019. This is a very interesting flanker because it's got a very interesting name, Extradose. So can't wait to tell you all about it. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 25,000 subscribers. We're kind of halfway. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 800 no hype videos. And we have these, new AI generated affiliate links. So if you purchase anything on the site, I think some of those go to discounter sites or decanters and what have you. If you do purchase on these links, we do get a commission. So if you do, thank you very much in advance. And the fragrance that I will be talking about today is none other than the latest Valentino for men. This is none other than Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Extradose. Yes, Valentino Uomo for men, Born in Roma Extradose. There is a femme version of this, by the way, guys. Now, this beautiful decant came from one of the best decanters in the game, Jared Miller, and he actually sent me a bunch of really good ones, guys. And this bottle, at least this spray bottle right here is really high quality, sprays really well, and Jared has a really nice mix of both designer and niche fragrances. So do not forget to hit him up. At least ask him what he's got in his decant list, because there are a lot of good ones right here, a lot of latest ones as well. So let's talk about this fragrance right here, Valentino Born in Roma Extradose. All right, the Extradose got me because really nowadays we are in the world of flankers. All right, business is very competitive in the fragrance space, so a lot of companies predictably will keep releasing flankers and will keep retroing fragrances like Nike, like how Nike does it with their sneakers. Well, because of course it takes advantage of the people that were the fans of the original lineup, and this one comes from the Born in Roma release that was back in 2019. A lot of people loved it, and as far as I know, in terms of the flankers, this is the second one. This one had Intense, and then this one right now is Extradose. Now, what does Extradose actually mean? That's the big thing. They keep coming up with these creative words like elixir and now Extradose, but apparently Extradose basically means an added set of notes. That's really it. I did not see any literature that spoke about a deeper, richer, kind of like extrait elixir feel, but basically they said, well, this one has a bunch of other notes that you did not expect. Okay, cool. Let's take that into consideration. Either way, I will be talking about this fragrance. I'll break it all down, no hype, and give you guys what to expect. And again, feel free to get a decant or a sample if you don't want to buy the full bottle from Jared. Anyways, let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest Valentino Born in Roma Extradose. Starting with this opening, guys, and this fragrance greets you with a bergamot note. All right, and this bergamot is a sparkling bergamot, starts off the entire fragrance. It's the mood enhancing part of Extradose. Now, I will say this, though, that unless you have zero experience with fragrances, this intro with that bergamot was probably the most underwhelming part of the fragrance. And if you know me, I like impactful intros. I want the intro to hit me hard and give me an impact, give me something unique, ASAP Rocky. But this one obviously did not. But because this is your typical bergamot, it might, make other people's like this fragrance, or at least the intro of this fragrance. Now, this bergamot, the way I'll describe it is it smells like your generic designer bergamot. Okay, it's a bergamot that I have not smelled in niche fragrances, but I have smelled in multiple other designer fragrances. And if you smell this bergamot initially, you're gonna be like, oh, it smells like 100 million things. All right, but hold your horses, guys. This doesn't mean that this fragrance sucks. It's just that the intro, which is like the first 5-10 minutes of the fragrance with that bergamot, is just underwhelming. That's all I'm saying. Now, after this bergamot, guys, that I considered underwhelming, generic designer-ish type bergamot, comes the mandarin. And the mandarin right here, I would say, is the added gradient of this fragrance. Orange is used sometimes as a bridge toward something warmer, something darker. And the mandarin right here comes immediately after that bergamot, like 10 minutes after, to really add that gradient, add that body. And of course, that kind of pairs up now. So you don't get that initial generic bergamot on its own. So now it's bergamot and mandarin here in the intro of Extradose. Now, 15 minutes later in the intro, ginger comes in and ginger saves the day. All right. So I believe ginger is a part of the original Born in Roma, but it's not in Intense. But here, the ginger saves the day. Thanks to that bridge of that mandarin, you are going to get finally a really nice dry ginger, a warming, spicy ginger, really come in afterwards, after the mandarin, 15 minutes in, and finally it's a tri-blend. Finally, you've got the bergamot, the mandarin, and the ginger all together in the intro of Born in Roma Extradose. So like I said, first impression, you might be like, oh God, this bergamot is the generic type. And then it starts getting into a gradient thanks to the mandarin. And again, finally, in 15 minutes, which is not really a long time to wait, that spicy, warming, dry ginger starts coming in, and it's a really beautiful mix. And as it is still cold in California, I wore this last night and it's really, really cool. The ginger obviously provides a warm and spicy property on top of that gradient mandarin. All right, so it felt really cozy and comfortable to me wearing Extradose in the cooler environments of, nighttime California here. Now, this intro, I would say, will be a compliment getter, all right? A standard compliment getter. And, what I mean by that is you won't get any crazy reactions from people, just people that will say, hey, you smell good, because these are your usual suspects of compliment getting. I mean, even that generic smelling bergamot still gets compliments, all right, from just people around you, common people around you. And of course, with that added mandarin, that added ginger, which like I said, saved the day, you are going to get a nice compliment factor on Extradose. Just don't expect anything new or groundbreaking or crazy, because guaranteed you've smelled this combination in a ton of other fragrances, but it is very usable. Okay, so now let's talk about initial sillage and projection on Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Extradose. Oh my God, that was pretty long. But the sillage and projection of this one was pretty damn nice, okay? This one is an aura scent and an aromatic scent. It will definitely hit people around you. If that is your style, you want to get noticed, but not to a degree that you're asking for attention, this is definitely a perfect one. You have some nice aromas from the ginger, and of course the citruses will still be lingering for at least, I would say, an hour and a half. And a lot of people will definitely smell you and probably compliment you. So it's one of those that I would say usage-wise, that's pretty nice. And like I said, I felt like this one was also resilient to the cold weather because of the ginger and the strength of the citruses. Just on the intro alone, it was pretty resilient to cold weather. Okay, so now let's head into the mid of this fragrance, guys. And the mid is actually nice as well. The mid of Valentino Born in Roma Extradose uses the same old, usual suspects of gentlemanly designer fragrances, guys. All right, so right here in the mid, lavender actually pops up. But when does it pop up? Okay, how long are you really going to get a good coverage of the tri-blend of the citruses, mandarin, bergamot, and ginger? I would say up to an hour and a half, okay? So it's not bad at all. You're not going to get an immediate lavender that smells like almost every other gent scent, okay? The lavender comes in after about an hour and a half, and it is interestingly flanked with salty notes. I'm thinking like ambergris here, or just pure salt, to give it a slight, I would say like a marine vibe. Like it made me feel like it had a marine vibe right here with the aromatic lavender, and also some dry woods. All right, so it gets dry woody here in the mid with your typical aromatic gent scent lavender, and a little bit of marine, a little bit of salty marine here in the mid of Extra Dose. And I would say that this is likable as well. There's nothing to really not like. I mean, really, the intro, although it feels like something you've smelled somewhere else, smells very good, it's very usable, can't complain about the sillage and projection. And the same goes for the mid as well. Again, you know, when you smell this, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a designer pro, but it's like I smelled like Invictus or something. Something designer-ish, okay? But again, these are, you know, the same old notes that make designer scents successful and compliment getting, with a mix of lavender, with a mix of salty notes and dry woods. So this mid is pretty likable as well, really gent scent-ish. And again, it gives you about an hour and a half for that intro to actually come out. And that's a good stage of that. And then you head into the mid. And this mid right here goes all the way till the 5th or 6th hour. Okay, so now let's head into the dry down of Valentino Born in Roma Extra Dose. And this part right here in the dry down per Valentino is the part where you get the extra dose. You've got some extra dose stuff, such as your vetiver and gaiac wood. But in my opinion, this fragrance also has labdanum here in the dry down that provides an ambery, sweet, and leathery dry down into this fragrance right here. Now, let me take note of this, that here in the dry down is when that, you know, more powerful aura scent actually settles down. I mean, it doesn't go away or fades away, but it's more of like a lingering scent here in the dry down on the 6th hour of smelling this fragrance, guys. So the thing I'm gonna say is that this dry down, although it has gaiac wood and vetiver that's supposed to invoke some smokiness, I really didn't get that smokiness, probably because the strength is not really that strong for me to say, oh, okay, this one felt smoky. Really, to me, I felt sweetness, comfort, earthiness, woodsiness here in the dry down of Born in Roma Extra Dose. So I really didn't feel like a strong smoky component was here. And like I said, I feel like there is an amber leather component here in the dry down as well. Typical comforting gradient dry down to this fragrance. I would say, like I said, great for the cold weather, and it feels like it's made for the cold or cooler weather. So I like it as well. No special effects. It's not really the extra dose that I thought of, but again, pretty likable as well. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance right here, Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Extra Dose? It's nice. It's nice. It's one of those designer fragrances that you could have in your back pocket when you're just, you know, wanting to wear something that's pretty much a sure shot. Or, you know, Filipinos say sure ball, all right? Sure shot or sure ball, okay? And again, this fragrance, although not groundbreaking whatsoever, still retains all the elements, the usual suspects, the same old notes that really create compliments and, you know, nice reactions throughout. And again, don't expect anything crazy. And I know usually when we get a flanker, that's what we expect. We expect something new, creative, and crazy. But I really didn't get that here, okay? I wore this whole time, and I pretty much killed this bottle right here. And to me, this is just your standard, you know, designer scent that will get you the same old compliments and the comfort. I will say this, though, good performance in the cold weather or cool weather AC environments. So that's really what it is. So what that means, though, is that if you own a lot of designer fragrances, it's a good reason to actually try this and hit up Jared Miller for a decant and get a bunch of other decants from him, because, hey, it's really cheap if you get a decant from Jared, right? So do that. and then compare it. If you are like a collector of designer scents, it's really a lot of redundancy, I'm gonna say. And sometimes I get surprised at how a lot of fragrance reviewers can actually hype these up every single time. And I don't know how they come up with that feeling that it's a new and crazy new flanker, because this really is kind of like, I don't know, this could be on its own. Like, I feel like if I actually tried this and this was already some sort of extra dose improved flanker of the previous ones, then I probably wouldn't even want to get the previous ones. You know what I'm saying, guys? I would be okay with just this one. Okay, get a 5 ml or something so you guys can use this. And usage-wise, guys, this fragrance definitely is a grabber to upscale grabber. It's a type of grabber that I can say can be worn in the cool weather, day or night. But to me, because of the gradient and gentlemanly properties, kind of like the amber vetiver towards the end, this is something that I would use at nighttime. Okay, casual environments, parties with coworkers, date night, what have you. I would wear this in AC environments, type of weather, or cool weather, guys. All right, that's when I would wear it. But of course, this is your typical designer, so really there's no restrictions. You can wear it whenever you want. It's got a wide range of applications right here. And finally, let's look at the cost. Some people think this is expensive, but I mean, not really. It's Valentino, $125 for 50 ml, which is, why would you even buy that? Because $165 is the full bottle of this. But like I said, even at that, even at the prices being like that, and even with the hype, I would still get a decant from Jared Miller. That's what I would do. Decant, get the decant, test it, and test it amongst your many other designer fragrances. If you feel like it's different, then, get a full bottle. But try this first. This is not a blind buy worthy fragrance, especially if you are a designer fragrance collector. All right, and that is it. That is my no hype review on Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Extradose. Again, I want to thank Jared Miller for sending this over. I got 3 more other amazing fragrances to try and test and put in these reviews, guys. So hopefully you can check him out by the link below. I will link him below, guys. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'm back to work, unfortunately, guys. Thanks for being here. I will see you guys on the next video. I've got a ton of amazing ones. Can't wait to bring them out. And I will see you guys on the next video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. Peace.